それではここからドイツ本社より初来日したAudi Q2 エクステリアデザイナーを務めますマティアス・フィンクよりAudi Q2 のデザインについてご説明させていただきます。Please welcome Audi Q2 エクステリアデザイナーマティアス・フィンク。
Thank you very much. Hello, my name is Matthias Fink and I am 35 years old. Normally I don't say how old I am, but in this case it's important. It is a big honor to me to accompany the Q2 to Japan and present this car to you as its exterior designer. Before I get closer to the details, and believe me, there are loads of, I won't tell you how this project came to a real car, and I think I don't have to explain you exactly how this car looks like because you see it right here with your own eyes. I would rather tell you the story of the process of ideation and the development of the Q2. There was one day in summer 2012, a colleague from project management came to me and said really nervously, "Hey, Matthias, do we have a sketch of a Q model that looks small? The board of management is asking for a small Q below the Q3, and even the name wasn't determined. It was just a question for a small Q for young urban people." And I thought in this moment, man, what a great task. And I started immediately to think about it and to analyze this customer group. How are young urban people? They are between 30 and 40 years. And in 2012, I was exactly 30 years old, and I thought, cool, this is my age. I can make a car for myself. And but how are the urban people? They have a progressive lifestyle. They are definitely not mainstream. They are all individuals. And fun, sport, leisure, but also business is important. And the most important thing is to combine everything in all in one life. And they will, or they want to have the freedom to express their life. But how can I visualize that generation? What elements of style could I think of? And then I thought about the rivers, the stone in the river. You know, that stones that were carried thousands of miles downwards the river. They are all round and smooth, and each stone looks equal. But that one's close to the spring, you know, and the mountain where the river is young. Those stones are edgy, they are individual with coins, chamfers, and edges. The edge, that was the clue, that was the big idea. The polygon as a fundamental style element. It works perfectly as a symbol for this generation, with its facets, its contrast, and its otherness. If we look at the Q2 a little bit closer, the general proportion and stand is catching our eyes. It's extremely compact. The overhangs are really short, front and rear. It has almost a square footprint. It's almost like a go-kart, and you feel this while driving. You experience this. It has an almost monolithic appearance, like a carved stone. And the chopped roof, and the large ground clearance, and the wide shoulders, and the intonation of all the four wheels, this is really a big character of the Q2. And imagine, when we started to shape the Q2, we began with a classical composition of body side. We have this shoulder, we have the main lateral surface here on the body side, and these two surfaces are connected with a sharp and crisp shoulder line that runs from the front light to the headlight. So it's a little bit common, you know this architecture. But imagine that we took a sharp blade and cut away the material. The knife slides in here in the volume, slides along the body side and get out in front of the rear fender. And the modelers, they did this. They did it really by hand. It is a hand craftsman's work. Like this, we create a natural true geometric shape, the polygon. The polygon is the signature of the Q2, and you will find it all around the car. But it's more than that. It has a positive effect for the overall proportions. Cut through this line exactly at this point. It divides the shoulder line into two lines. One goes up and one goes down. That one that goes down is really important because it makes the car, or it makes the cabin, look like sitting in between the wheels and the shoulders and gives it a really stable and low character. But simultaneously, the shoulder above the wheels, this line here, it makes the shoulder really high because it's related to the low shoulder. So the difference makes the fender really emphasized. And if you look at this picture here, you see a different looking C-post. It has a smooth radius here, a connection between shoulder and post, and the roof is connected. And then we cut with a knife here, and at the bottom the blade as a separate piece. And this gives us also the chance to paint it in a different color. And this is a little trick that the post and also the whole cabin, or this pillar, and the whole cabin looks low and wide. If we go to the rear, I think this three-quarter rear view is the most juicy view of this car, because you see what effect it has when the shoulders are high and the cabin sits really low in between the shoulders, like American football player, you know. The shoulders are high with the protection panels here, and the helmet sits in between, really safe. And this is also supported by the taillights. The taillights are squarish and really far out. And they look like the protection panels of the football player. And this makes the car really low and unique. And also the spoiler at the roof. It's really long and makes a big shadow on the glass, on the rear glass. And this makes the glass really thin, low and wide. You just see, you know, this stripe here, and you think it's really wide and low. If we go then further to the front, we have also some special things of the Q2. I mean, I think everybody of you knows the R8. It has a single frame, really low, and the rings are on the bonnet above the single frame. And then we have the A models. The single frame is a little bit higher. The rings are included in the single frame. But the critic was in the past that all the A models and the Q models are looking similar. That's the reason why we created a new Q single frame with another chamfer here in the bottom. It lifts up the grille optically from the ground, and the Q2 is the first car, the first Q model that has the new Q face. And there is another special thing. Imagine if I would have made a sporty coupe like A5. I would make the bonnet as long as possible. But this is a Q, a small Q model. it should be more rugged, more chunky, more rough. So I tried to make the bonnet really wide as possible and short as possible, almost like a square. And for this reason, I made this line not running straight to the single frame. This line is breaking before, goes along the front and goes back to the A post or the A pillar on the other side. This makes the bonnet short, and at the meantime, it makes the front high. And even if it's a small car, the front looks really masculine, really massive, really strong, really powerful. And as I told you, the polygon, you find it everywhere. For example, here, in the small details of the inlay of the single frame. It's basically the same polygon theme like on the body side, but in a halfway. And do you remember the silhouette of the tail light? You will find it also here in the air intake. It's almost the same shape. And this consequence and this no compromise, this is the value of the Q2 of the Edge. I will say thank you and goodbye.
ありがとうございました。